Alright, we are at Split Rock Lighthouse State Park, located in Two Harbors, Minnesota. Now my objective here is to have my final camp trip of 2025. This will be my 45th camp trip of the year, thankfully. I was blessed enough to have that be allowed to occur. So this is the entry into the park, and we're headed towards the Cart-In campground parking area. That's to the right here. The historic lighthouse is to the left, so it's a different part of the park than the lighthouse, which I haven't been to yet, but hopefully I'll be able to do that one day. So after I camp here tonight, tomorrow morning, the plan is to scout the 4 remote backpack sites. The relatively new Shipwreck Creek campground is to our right here. It's a little bit of a drive in. I did a scout of that campground last year, so check that out if interested. I also have a scout of the Cart-In site campground. We go in and we look at every single site. It's pretty informational and useful. It'll help you prepare and pick out a site. So that's where I'm camping tonight. I'm camping at Cart-In site number 4, which I chose based on my own footage of that scout that I did last year. And then the 4 remote backpack sites, based on my research, it would appear that you would actually park in the Cart-In campground parking area, and you would hike through the Cart-In campground area, and just before you reach the last handful of Cart-In sites, you take a right and you go towards a trail that says Bob's Stairs. And you head in that vicinity, and up there are the 4 remote sites, which we're going to try to scout those tomorrow morning. So once we get to this parking area here, we'll cut and we'll go to the next day. And this is the parking area for the Cart-In campground. The site I'm camping at is pretty much straight ahead. It's one of the closer ones. I went with an easier one. Alright, so yeah, we'll cut here, and then we'll pick up here tomorrow, and we'll start our hike in, and we'll check out those 4 remote backpack sites just beyond Bob's Stairs, just beyond the Cart-In campground area. I'll stick around. Just real quick before we do the scout, I just want to show later tonight when I'm camping tonight here. It's nice and lit up in this area. This is the Cart-In parking area here. It's nice restroom, showers. It's closed for the season, obviously, but look how nice and lit up everything is. It's nice. Like, a lot of times I'll feel like really creeped out when I'm camping. It's just kind of like a creepy vibe. I camped further down at 16 once, and it was definitely creepier there. But here it's just really, it's nice and lit up. I'm not even a big fan of lights, but this is really cool. So yeah, I just wanted to show that real quick. Kind of like a supplemental to my scout video for the Cart-In campsites. We'll cut here in a second, go to tomorrow and check out those remote sites. Yeah, a little like a shelter area almost in here too. I'm at Corundum Site 4. It's right there. It's a really convenient site. It's right next to here, and I got this whole, like, I'm all by myself right now in this area. And this restroom shower is just making it really comfortable and not creepy. So yeah. All right. I'm gonna finish off my camp here, and then we're gonna check out them sites. Whew. Alright, so it's the next morning. Had a pretty good camp last night. My last camp trip of 2025. My first one of the year was in Lake Bemidji State Park in January. So this is the Corundum campground. We're starting from the parking area here for that campground. And this is, I believe, where you would also park for the remote sites, which is what we're going to scout right now if all goes well. So we are here. I do declare, actually no, we are here, right here. I camped here last night. It's a pretty good site. I'd recommend it. Corundum Site 4. Alright, so what we're going to do is hike back to the parking area here. I'm gonna see if we can do this within 2 hours. It's in the mid-20s right now Fahrenheit, which is not bad at all. I am wearing a Gore-Tex trousers for my legs, my pants. Sometimes it has a kind of a diapery sound. That's what that is. I do have a scout of this Corundum campground as well that I did a little over a year ago, so check that out if you're interested. First vault toilet. It's a heavily used vault toilet, so it's a horrific odor. There's a nice little rock chair back here though, and seat too. That's a little pro tip in case you gotta wait. These Corundum sites are further from Superior, but they have awesome views. Well, the ones over here do anyways. You gotta go up this hill though, and this ain't the only one you gotta go up. You go to the ones over there. FYI. So we're gonna pop on this Little Two Harbors Trail, which appears to be on or heading towards the hiking club trail as well. There's another map. We're right here. It's F. We're gonna be heading down to these right here. Final goal is this Split Rock Point after Backpack 4. Two of these have a K on them, BP/K1 and BP/K3. There's a little water icon underneath the camping icon as well, so I think that means you can use a watercraft to access them, which sounds insane given how fierce Lake Superior is over here. This is going to be my last scout of the year as well. It was a really good year for camping and scouting. I was able to do 45 camp trips this year, which is my new record. I doubt I'll ever beat that record. It's almost overdoing it, by the way, too, so it's like you don't really want to spoil it by doing it too much. I was considering camping at this site, but it's just so close to this trail here. It says a cool little stage. I don't want to digress too much, but yeah. The wind should be a little ferocious. We're kind of protected from it. Well, picked up now that we walk down here by the lake, or the Great Sea. And the cell phone signal here is a little spotty. Certain spots are better than others. The overlooks more than likely have pretty good signal. Right, and this area is SOS only. Pull the Avenza map. You kind of take a longer roundabout way with the Day Hill Trail here. But we're going to keep on the Corundum Campground trail, or path. Bob Stairs backpack sites. Those are also referred to as the remote sites. That's what we're scouting now. Going up this incline with a cart can be a little brutal. Some of the really sweet sights are up here. This is a pretty sweet site as well. Pretty sure I saw a video recently of a guy who showed it. I almost chose that site last year, but I went with 16. But that one you get to right before you got to go up this incline. Pretty brutal when there's snow. here's kind of the middle point for the Corundum Campground. There's a courtesy vault toilet right over here. A little fun fact, there's an actual massive split rock in Site 15 here. So yeah, my Corundum Campground scout will show you that. It's actually a split rock, so it's real fitting for the name of the park. It's a real convenient vault toilet. 16 and 17 are two awesome sites. I stayed at 16 last year, and Stinkleberry Farmer stayed at 17, I'm pretty sure, maybe 1 or 2 years ago. So those sites are highly recommended. Alright, so we're approaching the intersection here where we're gonna meander away from the Corundum Campground. There's more sites down there, but we're gonna meander away from them. Bob Stairs and the backpack sites this way. Here we go. It is Christmas Day, so the traffic will be relatively low for the time being. That will probably change soon given the time of day. When I've been around here though, I've noticed it's a relatively popular trail. Oh, we already got a reasonable uphill. I'm probably going to try to edit this scout right away and launch it or publish it before I get to the rest of my backlog from the year. Oh, we can see it from here. A split rock at Site 15. Ah, that's a cool perspective. That's another site I kind of considered staying at. The problem is, it's just a little creepy at night. This area is just kind of creepy at night. At least it is for me. I am wearing the mucklucks. Looks like so far I haven't really needed them. But if these remote sites haven't been touched, there's a good chance there's going to be some deep snow in them, which kind of deters from being able to take a really good look at it. But still, we'll get a good idea where they are, how to get to them, and what they look like. That'll help with planning and preparing, making a decision ultimately to do it or not do it. That split rock lighthouse is just there. I can see it with my naked eye. I can see it. I took some cool pictures of it yesterday though from my campsite number Corundum 4. I'll show them right here. card in for is a really good, two really good outlook points within it. People actually hike into that site and look at the outlook points just as part of a hike. They're pretty good. A lot of sites along the lake though have good outlook points, so I didn't expect the downhill stairs, and this looks terrifying actually. Yeah, this is pretty terrifying. So, and the wind's picking up. Let's do one step at a time. I have been asking God to let me die in my sleep recently, for what that's worth. And sometimes He can grant your wish as a leprechaun would. So I got to be really careful here. Having a massive rucksack or a backpack on this would be a little crazy. Last time I saw one of those and I tried to use it, it didn't work. When I was rucking in the Egan neighborhood. It was a rural hike. Maybe Bob built these stairs. Bob the Builder. Now these aren't so bad once you get past that high point. It looks worse than it is from there. Wow. The research I've done, it doesn't look like there's any parking other than where we came from for these sites. There's no overnight parking off of 61 anywhere. On the Wayside, it calls that out on the map. No overnight parking. So I'm pretty sure unless you get dropped off over there off of 61 Wayside, this is going to be your hike in. The water's nice and blue. Yeah, these are more impressive and intricate than I was expecting they would be for stairs. Now we got a little bit of a boardwalk here. That's pretty cool. Lobsters. We are getting close to the first remote backpack site. I guess it took about as long as I was expecting it might take. Oh. It took us about 20 minutes to get here. A leisurely hike. Not really rushing. We're at H. Right here. But we started here around F, and then we're down to H. You got some trail action this way at this intersection. You go straight for a backpack site, remote site. And then we'll continue along, just kind of hug the left till we see all four. And 61 runs alongside, just past this rock structure, the formation. And there's some Wayside parking somewhat adjacent to the fourth backpack site. It's probably about a 0.3 mile from that. We got beach access over here. I'll take a quick look. Let's try to do a nice, well-rounded scout today. This might be a part that you might go to if you're backpacking, camping here. Oh yeah. Superior is basically a little ocean. I'm sure a lot of you already know that. Ugh. Really nice blustery day. There's supposed to be some northeast gales coming in. And again, we are at Split Rock Lighthouse State Park in Two Harbors, Minnesota. And we're in between Gooseberry Falls State Park, which is that way, and Tetagooch State Park, which is that way. And Tetagooch is in Silver Bay, Minnesota. We're right in the middle. 61 has a whole, well, I'd say a whole host of state parks alongside it on the North Shore. Maybe 5 or so. Oh. And also 35 on the way north here from the cities. You go past a lot of state parks as well. And some state forests even. State forest camping opportunities. Really, my big hope, as it usually is that these sites they're not on a main trail. They're kind of pushed back a little, relatively private. There we go. To Backpack Campsite 1 this way, and Corundum Mine Trail this way. Wow, so it is off the main trail. It has a very nice wooden sign, just like the Cardin sites do. So far so good. BP1, we finally get to see it. There has been some foot traffic here. Yeah, this is an awesome site. This is absolutely awesome. Wow. Oh, this is so cool. I was getting such a good feeling when I see an awesome site. I don't know why there's a trail here. We'll look at that in a second. I've never seen anything like this, so I'm not sure if it has a special name or a special purpose. I would assume you'd sit here. This might actually be something to house wood, firewood, actually. It's possible. Wouldn't that be nice if they had firewood here you could use and then purchase on the honor system? Oh, that'd be cool. If you know, let me know if that's what that is, because that would make this just a rock star site. And here's where you'd probably tent. Nice cool pine tree here. Wow, you're just right in it. Right in the heart of beauty. So you're going to be near this beach area, so there might be a lot of noise with people there having fun. A lot of sound of the waves though. And if you're lucky, some wind. You probably will have wind here, that's for sure. Give that a 90%. Oh, this is awesome. Awesome, awesome. And you can tent in here too. There's a little bit of some slants. And as far as roots and rocks go, sorry, the snow's covering that, so we're not sure. Still though, there's opportunities here in here. It's gonna go down here and oh, here we go. It's a latrine. I forgot about those. And this is a really nice one. It actually has walls. Sometimes it's just a toilet, kind of like at a Bearhead Lake State Park, which I got a scout of that, which it may not be published by the time I publish this, but I'll have it soon. Ooh, the backpack sites there, they're pretty good. They should be okay from Preverts. You're definitely blocked as a courtesy if you have any companions camping with you. There's no toilet paper, which would make sense. Nice little log stool or footstool. Not bad, not bad at all. I think it's safe to say I love this site, and I would highly recommend it based on my in-person experience here. You can withstand the hike in, which isn't bad for the most part, depending on how much gear you need to enjoy yourself. And there might be some wayside drop-off opportunities along 61, but I don't think so. It's possible. Not bad. This is backpack / remote site number 1 at Split Rock Lighthouse State Park in Two Harbors, Minnesota. And it's a good one. It's a very good one. The good thing about Bob's stairs on the way here is that you're actually going down. And I thought you were going to actually go upstairs, up to the big rock formation up there. So that's kind of cool. Usually when you're leaving the camp, you have less water for sure, less food, so you're a little bit lighter by about 5 to 10 pounds. Wow. Okay. Alright, we're feeling real good. That was a winner. Based on the map here, oh, it does say K1 here as well, so I'm not really sure what that means. It's got water underneath the icon. I don't think you'd want to get into a canoe and go out here, to be honest, so I'm not totally sure what that means. So now we're gonna go this way and then kind of come around and then hug back in. I think we're gonna head over that area as well. So on the way to Backpack 2, we're gonna reach an outlook called Corundum Point. And we're gonna take a look at that first and then head on over to Backpack Site 2. bird's nest. It's real festive. It's got some pine around it, it looks like. That's a good one. Wow. Good craftsmanship. So we have been going up a little bit, up an incline. Oh. Okay, we're at the I intersection here. Right here. Take a right. Go towards a Gitchi-Gami State Trail that runs alongside here. And then 61 parallel just beyond that a little bit. We're stay to our left, head to J, stay to our left, and head to K. And this looks like it is Split Rock Creek right here. frozen over. There's caution, bridge ahead. Not sure why they would caution that unless this is known to have bikers or skiers. Here. So keep this way. So even though there is a lot of snow here, it's not too bad. I would say this is so far a relatively easy hike, stairs aside. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a paved perfectly straight paved path in a city, and 10 being somewhere in the mountains with rocks, and it's very challenging. I probably put this at like a 4 so far. Stairs are kind of weird because they're relatively easy, yet they're arduous. So those stairs are, I'd always put them maybe as like a default 6, maybe 5, but probably 6. So given the fluctuating difficulty levels, we're probably about a 5.25. Which seems a little high when I say it out loud. So this site is definitely taking longer to get to than I thought it would, based on just looking at the map. It's another reason for the importance of the scouts. Oftentimes, if I wouldn't have done a scout beforehand, I would have wasted a lot of time from my trip, and sometimes I probably wouldn't even have found it, the destination, or it would have took so long to figure it out. I'd have to deal with other things, like running out of gas or trying to find a safe place before it gets dark. So I always scout if I can, if it's practical. Even though technically, like state parks and state forests, they're not that big of a deal. But if you don't know what you're doing, you've never really done this stuff, it's a very big deal. Okay, we're at K. Right here. So we're near the backpack site 2. Is that way. But first, we're going to check out the Corundum mine site. And we have the password, so now we know. Now we know, everybody. Now we know. So this is definitely a hiking club trail. I'm not a fan of having a campsite near a hiking club trail password, or even relatively near a hiking club trail for that matter, just because of the traffic potential. But I get more irritable than most people, and I'm kind of hoping I'm going to start evolving away from that. Maybe be less agitated and less annoyed. Not really sure what's been causing that to escalate over the years, but it's probably some kind of chemical balance in the brain or something. So this shouldn't be too far off. Things are really quieted down over here. I don't hear any wind or really any waves. That's a first for today. Just a beautiful, windy, gray day. We might be witnessing a little history here. Get a little bit of a Frontenac State Park vibe off of Lake Pepin, kind of. Corundum Point. It's hard to see. I'm gonna do the best I can. Oh, not bad. I forgot to see if we had a cell signal in backpack 1. Oh, sorry about that. Let's leave that a mystery. I'm sure you love me for that. Yeah. I would say that we probably would have cell signal there. Maybe 1 to 2 bars based on the signal service that I had near Lake Superior while camping at Cardin Site 16 last year and Cardin Site 4 this year. As long as you're closer to the open of the lake, you seem to have decent cell signal. Wow. Okay, so this gets a little steep. So this should be Corundum Point. I feel like there's a way to go up here, but I'm not going to take it to that level. Yep, Corundum Point. Okay. Get some good vibes here. Corundum Point. Alright, so we're almost an hour in. So that means it took us about an hour to get to backpack site 2. I know we're not there yet, but we're close. But we did some a little bit of dilly-dallying, and we took our time at site 1. So that being said, it's probably about a 40-minute hike, roughly, from the Cardin parking area to backpack remote site number 2. So this trail right here is really easy. Probably put this at a 2 point something. I was thinking about taking a layer off, but since I got on this trail, the wind picked up again, which is a good thing because I was starting to sweat too much. We've been keeping a really good balance as far as the layer to sweat ratio, so our activity is spot on for movement, how much effort we want to put into it. We're making pretty good time as well. So far, this far into it, I would say it has taken a little longer than I was thinking, by maybe only 15 minutes. So if we take our time and we're leisurely all the way through it, all the way back, we might be under 3 hours. I'm probably gonna timestamp this bad boy too, though, just as a courtesy. Alright, here we go. Backpack site 2. really love those signs they got at this state park. They're really cool. Doesn't look like any humans have been in here since the snowfall. Yeah. Not many relatives either at this point. There's a couple little buddies going back and forth. Wow. Here we got another one of these structures. I'm about 60% sure this is for wood. See the latrine back there. And an amazing view. Now the waves are a little heavy today, but you can more than likely expect to hear waves the whole time you're here, to some degree. And this is off from the main trail at a respective distance. Got a little spot over here too. Oh, this might be a cool little tent spot. So it looks like some wavy action here. I'm not sure with the snow. Probably not, depending on the size of your tent. I might be able to pull it off of my two-person light fighter, but it might not make for a comfortable night. Still, if you can pull it off, it's an awesome spot for a tent. I think I'm gonna call them and ask them about these structures here, see if they put wood there. So this one, they actually have it open facing Lake Superior. I'm not a fan of anybody who sits on the pot for an extended period of time, other than maybe 2 to 3 minutes, unless there's some kind of gastrointestinal dilemma. But if you do that, this would be a good latrine for you here. Although this is probably grown in the summertime. And the wind coming off in the wintertime. Yeah, not bad. It's got the walls. Just remember to bring your own toilet paper, which you should already do if you backpack. Oh yeah, we have 4 bars here. Very strong signal. It's a little more in the open here, not surrounded by as much rock as Site 1. But I give it an 80%, 70% chance Site 1 has relatively strong cell signal. So I do prefer Site 1 over this site in my own personal opinion. But this has an awesome view. Probably tent here. This might be the ideal spot for a tent. Yeah, either there or there. Not too bad. So this is backpack / remote site number 2 at Split Rock Lighthouse State Park in Two Harbors, Minnesota. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'll take a quick pause so I can blow my nose. Got the Rush 24 511. One of the most phenomenal packs you could ask for. I got it dolled up, of course, with accessories. Handles on the side as well in case the load gets really heavy. I can flip it over my head to dawn it. But you can load this bad boy up, get it real heavy, and it'll take it. They even got some power banks in here and some cords. 2 power banks. So there's a power station in here. I can power my phone and my body cam. Yeah, aside from my rucksack, this is the next level down. It's perfect for scouts, just like this. I think I'm gonna keep my layers that I have on right now though. All right, 2 down, 2 to go. And about 1 hour into it. Not bad, not bad at all. And the hike out, we're gonna move a little swifter than the hike in. Yeah, so far I really want to do backpack site 1 next year. If I call them up and they say they got wood in the sites, I think I'm gonna try to do it for sure. Not bad, not bad at all. It's definitely more of a hike in though for this one. And this trail is probably a little less trafficked than the one over by backpack site 1. For instance, I don't see really any human feet at this point, where I saw a whole path of feet around site 1, the trail leading up to it and from it. Ooh. Yeah, so it is Christmas. I just want to say Merry Christmas. You'll probably be seeing this on a day that isn't Christmas, but if you are watching this on a future Christmas, Merry Christmas. And do your best to keep kindness in your heart. That's something I've really been struggling with over the last decade. Just getting really sick and tired of people and just irritable and just can't stand them. And I really hope I can turn that around. I just get so annoyed with everything. So it's really challenging for me to not scare away kindness from my heart. So fight the good fight, keep kindness in your heart. Try not to get irritated or irritable with people. It just destroys you. It cripples you. You know, it can tempt you. It tempts me. Distracts me. You got to get out of that phase. You got to shift out of that frequency, out of that modality. If you fight that struggle, you are not alone. And there's strength in numbers. With that comes motivation and optimism and hope, and ultimately achievement and success. Good cell signal on this trail as well, actually. So looking at the map and how far we've traveled, we might be over 3 hours altogether here, because Site 4 is a little ways. So we'll just keep it moving here. Our next intersection is L as in Lima, and then after that is M as in Mary, and that is where we'll be at Crazy Bay and backpack Site 3 / K3 / Remote Site 3, all of its pseudonymous names. Alright, we got to L a little quicker than I thought we would. That's good. Here. So we're making our way now towards M, Crazy Bay. So far, I could have gotten away wearing my other boots that I have for winter. But these mucklucks are working and feeling great. So we are okay. After about 8 to 10 miles and hiking with them in snow, I could really start to get brutal on the feet though. Speaking of which, we're going to subtract about a half a mile. So we're under 2 miles so far from the parking area. But if you don't have much gear and you have the resources, it might be more practical for you to actually just get a ride with someone and pop up somewhere along 61 here and hike in from 61 instead of starting in the parking area for the cart-in sites. If you're gonna camp at these backpack / remote sites. Now, another fun fact is we're right by a famous restaurant called Betty's Pies, and I actually picked one up there for the first time on Christmas Eve yesterday, and it's a present for one of my sisters because she's been making me cookies every year and I feel guilty. So I brought her some apple bread in the summertime from the world's largest candy store in Jordan, Minnesota. So this year when I go to pick up the wonderful batch of assortment of cookies, I'm going to bring her a wonderful pie from famous Betty's Pies. Now they didn't have cherry, and I know that's probably still her favorite, but I got her blueberry, and I really hope she likes blueberry. Oh, I really hope she does. She should. She only mentioned to me that she wasn't a big fan of their French silk, I believe she said, because there's some kind of like they put cinnamon or something weird. Just, she's not a fan of that ingredient in that type of pie. Now, one pie I want to try there, because Stinkleberry Farmer had a piece of it in one of his videos, is the coconut cream pie. And I'm already kind of a coconut junkie. Now, the pies are a little costly. It's about $22 I think I paid. I gave him a Christmas tip, so just under $30. I guess it's more of a regular tip. I didn't really overdo the normal tip I would do for Christmas. But I'm actually a vegetarian for the most part, though I do eat cheese, and I will eat eggs as an ingredient. Sometimes hard-boiled eggs are hiding in macaroni salads, potato salads. I'll eat those. With that being said, Betty's Pies, they do have 2 vegetarian options. One of them is like a backpacker veggie burger, and another one is like, I don't know, maybe this is the backpacker sandwich. There's 2 vegetarian options. I just don't like going to crowded places. But maybe that's causing me to struggle with kindness in my heart. So maybe I'll try to overcome that with a delicious meal at Betty's Pies sometime in 2026. We'll see if the fates allow. But if I get one of those meals, I want to try them both, so I plan on going there twice if I'm allowed to in life. I'm definitely going to get some of the coconut cream pie. So that's pretty close to Gooseberry Falls State Park. If I remember correctly, it's actually in between this state park, Split Rock, Lighthouse State Park, and Gooseberry Falls State Park. It's almost perfectly in between the two. I got a really nice location. I think my sister said something like, when Betty was alive, that there was an actual Betty, I believe. And she was on Oprah or something, some kind of talk show. For what that's worth, just a fun fact. Just kind of like to look back every now and then so you can see the perspective from the other side, see where we traveled. All right, we got some picnic table action over here. This doesn't appear to be an actual site. Be at Crazy Bay. Okay. This looks like Crazy Bay in here. Our campsite should be just over here. It's probably hard to have a picnic here because of how crazy this bay is. Oh, it helped cool me off a little though. Oh, little buddy just ran across. Some strange trails, I'm not sure what it is. I'm not really good at knowing what different different footprints are, or prints, I guess. That little guy just ran across here. Looked like a squirrel. Ooh. Looks like we got a fence here. Maybe that's not a fence. It's hard to tell for sure. Might be a power line. Yeah, I think it's a power line. Yeah, those are power lines. Okay. The snow got pretty deep right there. These remote sites, they're pretty out here. All right, here we go. There it is. So we're at intersection M, right here. BP/K3, remote site 3. And 4 isn't too much further that way. Alright, let's check out backpack site number 3. Right in Crazy Bay. Tent pad here. Wow. Man, this ain't too bad. Pretty good cell signal. Plus 28 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is making it feel like 6. Wow. Like you're right on the shore on this one. Wow. Woo. nice tent pad. A little bit of a slant. It is a relatively substantial slant, so you're going to want your head over there, legs this way. I've never seen a tent pad with a slant this substantial. Probably occurred over time as a result of the environment, I would assume. Pretty straight and level in here though, this part. Based on the snowfall. Yeah, so I think this is a wood stand. The reason I think that is because if you'd sit here, like this isn't really ideal for where your back would go. And it's only on one side. And it just looks perfect to stack wood. That's why I think that. But at this moment in time, I don't know for sure what these are for. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Wow. So this is backpack / remote site number 3 at Split Rock Lighthouse State Park in Two Harbors, Minnesota. We are right on Gitchi-Gami, Lake Superior, the mighty sea. Take a gander at the latrine on the way out. It's a nice respectful distance from the trail here. A little close, but still, it's pushed in. Sometimes they put backpack sites right on trails, and that is just, it's not good. Oh, standard, not bad. There's no signs in here asking you to not be a jerk. Ooh. Oh, these things right here, I'm not sure what they're called, but I heard a rumor that if you do like woodcraft, if you like make stuff out of wood, like bowls or spoons or whittling, these have really nice designs inside of them. The problem is you have to destroy the tree to get to it. just don't do it. There's beauty in simplicity too. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad at all. We're an hour and a half in. And well, about 2.5 miles. We're at M, Crazy Bay. We're making our way now to backpack site 4. And then from there, we're gonna check out Split Rock Point. And then we're gonna head back. We're gonna head back, I've been thinking about this. We're gonna head back on the same trail that we came. I don't want to take the Gitchi-Gami Trail back. And that the Wayside here is parking is right here, which might be a spot to a drop point to bring in your gear, but there's no overnight parking. So I'll try to remember to take a look at that when we head out. I might forget though. All right, 3 of 4 completed. 1 to go. And so far, me personally, I'm still a big fan of site number 1. And ironically, the same thing happened to me at Bearhead Lake State Park for those backpack sites off of Becky Lake Trail. And I'll have a scout video of that relatively soon. I'd say this is a perfect day for this scout, given the gear that I have and the layers. It's just perfect. Growing up as a kid, I was really super blessed to have really awesome Christmases as a kid. Saw a lot of family, and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and just got a reasonable amount of presents, which was kind of crazy. We weren't rich or anything, but we definitely weren't poor. So that being said, nowadays it's kind of a different thing to just be totally isolated on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's nice to get out here and just kind of have a retrospective. Had a really nice camp last night, although my mind was really struggling with, I guess, negative things. Just can't let go. But it was a really good camp, really good campsite. This is my second camp trip here. Last night was, and each time I've done it this time of year, so the whole campground, the karting campground, was just empty. So to be able to camp at Split Rock Lighthouse State Park karting campground, be the only one there. I'm sure there's not too many people in that club. But I'm thinking maybe next year, well, unless I'll probably do a backpack site. We'll see what happens. But next time I do a karting site here, I might do it during the warmer months. The problem is during the colder months, this is one of the more ideal places to camp because it's open. A lot of places are closed for the season. That's another reason why I kind of hold off on it till the end of the year. But I don't plan to camp as much next year as I did this year. I did it almost every weekend this year. It's insane. There's like 52 weeks in a year, and this is my 45th camp trip. There's only several weekends I didn't do. But next year I'm thinking maybe 20, maybe twice a month average total. Because sometimes abundance isn't good. So yeah, we've been going up an incline here for a little while. There's more to go. These remote sites, I wouldn't want to do them in the winter, mainly because I have to carry a little bit more gear. It's heavier to stay warm. But in the summer I can lighten my load. The problem with summer though is you got to bring more water, and water weighs a lot, and it's a fluid weight, so it shifts. But it's still less bulk. I can kind of hunker the weight into my rucksack more. Keep it towards the top of the rucksack. It's not so bad. But in the winter, a lot of the rucksack is consumed with layers, clothing layers. So once you settle down for the night and you're not moving around, your body temperature will plummet. Things get really cold. So we got a little bit more human traffic here on this trail, of this section of it. It almost looks like a groomed path, actually. It doesn't have the official standard grooming pattern though that I've seen. If it did, it would make walking on it illegal. Well, it might be a groomed path here. We got some fence action here. We might have private property over there. Starting to sweat more. The wind died down in this section. It'll probably pick up though once we get closer to the lake here. I'll probably take off a layer, one of my hoodies. I got 3 merino wool hoodies on right now. I'll probably take one of them off for the way back in, because I plan to move a little quicker. That sound, the wind and the leaves, the trees, and the waves. It's just really therapeutic. I'll prove it by not talking for a while. Alright, here we are, guys. Backpack number 4. We have really good cell signal. Got a little tent pad here. Oh, looks like someone was here recently. Yeah. It's probably within the last week. Right on the lake here. So this is probably the closest to the wave you're gonna get for any of the backpack sites. Oh, almost looks like Bigfoot. That's great. Fly trap. All right. Not too bad. Very, very windy. And it's loud too. It's a good noise though, a good loud. But your ears will probably be ringing after a night here, in a good way. Ooh, that's horrible. Oh, they didn't leave no goodies. They made him look all evil. Alright, so this is backpack / remote site 4 at Split Rock Lighthouse State Park in Two Harbors, Minnesota. Not too bad. This one is probably the closest to the waves of Lake Superior out of all 4 of them. And it's about a 3-mile hike in. 1, 2, 3 mile hike in from the Corundum Campground parking area, which is where you'd probably park your vehicle if you wanted to stay there overnight. There is Wayside access on 61, just a little ways that way, but you cannot overnight park there. So you might be able to use that as a point to bring in your gear so it's closer. Oh, so that's, yeah, that grooming I saw, that was probably the guy who, or whoever it was that stayed here. They probably had a pulk or a sled to carry their gear. Not bad. There you can see the sled tracks go in there as well, but I don't see sled tracks this way. So whoever stayed here, they probably used a pulk, which is something I've been looking into. I'm gonna have to get one of those, up my skill level a little bit. So our final destination is an outlook up here. Split Rock Point. Oh, we're still under the 2-hour mark since we left. So I'd say that's a very good thing. Feet still really good. They feel really good. And the mucklucks. You really don't want to wear mucklucks if it's not below zero, not below freezing. So with the wind and everything, it's making them perfect condition. Grouse. Wow. Alright, so it looks like this is Split Rock Point. Ooh, okay. That's like 61 down there. And then this will take you to that Wayside area I was telling you about. Just 61 down there. We saw 61 in the distance. Okay, just go up here and around. And it's right there. So we're actually facing right toward it now. We might be able to see it from here. So if the orientation is correct on this, just down there. So after we finish the hike back, I might try to squeeze in a gander of the actual Split Rock Lighthouse. it won't be a part of this, but I just want to see if I can work that in before I head out. Then on my way home, I'm going to travel past there, and I'll try to remember to take a quick gander at it. I might forget, but I'll try to remember. Try to make myself a ring. There, I might remember it. Alright, mission accomplished. So now it's the hike back. We're going to try to finish this hike in less than 1 hour. Well, at 1 p.m. 1300. That is our goal. Here we go. And if you're with me this far, thanks for taking a look. I really hope this helped. I appreciate your time and your company. If this helped you out, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. It really warmed my heart. It really would. I got some pretty rough days sometimes, and it would just pull me out of hell if you would just let me know. You'd have no idea how much of a gift that would be. It might have been kind of rough pulling that sled or that polk up this part though. The guy from Lost Lakes, I seen him pulling a long polk and a smaller one, and he just had like a strap around his chest and he wasn't even using his hands. He might be one of those guys that is bigger in real life than he seems on screen. Like he might be 6'5" or something, I don't know. I'm kind of at the high end of as short as you would want to be for the most part for a guy. I'm probably about as tall as you'd want to be for a girl, actually. This is a pretty cool scout. I think that person who stayed at Site 4, who seemed to have used the polk, he may have gotten in through a drop point, like I was pointing out earlier, potentially. I feel a little guilty we're not analyzing every single potential drop point, but that's just taking it kind of far, you know. I don't want to get that exhaustive with it. I'd make it really long. So this gives you a really good idea anyways. And the drop points for off of 61, the hike in is not that far for the most part. These polk tracks, I want to see if they started right here at this intersection, because I didn't remember noticing them until here. Actually, I didn't notice them until after we were past here. So whoever stayed at 5, they're still off of 61, so right over here potentially. So he possibly had somebody give him a ride, and he brought his gear out here around the Q intersection, and then went down Gitchi-Gami Trail till they got to here M. We're right by Gitchi-Gami Trail. Guess we could look at it real quick. Yeah, you see the pulp tracks here. I think Gitchi-Gami Trail is a ski only this time of year. Yeah, here's F, or sorry, R. I was on this a couple weeks ago, scouting the Gooseberry Falls State Park group camp, and I noticed tracks, but I don't see them here. The ski tracks, the groomed ski tracks. The R right here. So the closest intersection off of 61 is this way to Q. No, but his poke comes from there. I'm pretty sure that's what those grooves are, from him pulling in his gear to that site. Or maybe S. Or maybe he parked further down and just took Gitchi-Gami Trail, because Gitchi-Gami Trail is more of a, it's more level, it's more straight. It's probably on a 1 as far as a scale of 1 to 10 for difficulty for hiking. I'll leave it a mystery. I want to take the way we came back, I want to take that out. I might kick myself for that later, but that's okay. When he got here, he might have been like, man, I should have just took 3 right here. Maybe not. So if you have a lot of gear and you want to use a pulk, the Gitchi-Gami Trail might actually be a better path to these sites here that are further out from the Corundum parking area. Oh. You know, it was pretty cold last weekend. So if they were here last weekend, that would have been a really cold one for them. I was at Jay Cook State Park last weekend, and it didn't go below 0, but it was in the single digits and windy. I was actually on the swinging bridge, had my glove off. I was trying to get some footage of it, and after about 1 minute and 50 seconds, I almost couldn't even feel my hand anymore. Less than 2 minutes and my hand was almost completely numb. Just had very little feeling in it. That was insane. So that wind on that bridge, it had to make it -15, -20. That was insane. Maybe even more. I got a video of that too. That was my first time ever seeing that bridge. That was a long time coming. And also had a really, I was scouting the walk-in sites there, and I had a really magical moment with some black-capped chickadees, like I usually do. and walking site 68. That was one of the greatest moments of my life. I've had a lot of really great moments growing up, but over recent years things have gotten really dark. And this was a fun trail to hike also, the whole time. The quicker I walk, the more aggressively I walk. I'm starting to develop some hot spots under the top part of my feet. But my feet shift every time I set them on the ground because of the wonky nature of the terrain with the snow and everything. There's a lot of trees like this in Nursestrand Big Woods earlier this year. And it seemed it was due to too much moisture in the ground. But there's a lot of water puddle underneath it. I got a hike that I did earlier there as well. I actually hiked in the prairie, the southern part of the park. It's probably a lesser hiked part of the park. I'm gonna check out more of the northern part of the park when I go back there. When I go back, if I do. But I only will not if life has too many obstacles that doesn't make it practical. I plan on going back there. I want to stay at one of the Corundum sites there. It's more of a walk-in site though, really, but that's okay. Just makes it easier with the cart. They had this area there that they used to have group camps there, it looks like, and they converted it into cart-in and walk-in sites. So it seemed. That's a cool little area to camp, because the main campground is kind of crowded. That's a cool little area to camp, even though it's still crowded there too a little bit, but it's another option. That's a little bit of an incline. Oh, I'm sweating all over now from that one. Just gonna tone it down a little. Probably should take a layer off the top. So it's supposed to get sleety around here a little later tonight. The Maritime Weather Report was issuing warnings for Sunday, specifically for smaller vessels. Looks like it might be trying to snow a little. And I don't have a shell layer on as a jacket, so I could slowly get wet with just the merino wool layers. And with sweat, I'll be getting hit with moisture from inside and outside. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna start snowing. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it's so magical, man. Oh, good. Oh, good. That's what I'm talking about. Back at L, as in Lima. Oh, that's it. So from where we were to where we're going, we're about 40% of the way there. Just like that. If you stay focused and just keep pushing ahead at a reasonable pace, you cover reasonable ground. What can happen though, and this does for me, is when I stop and I look around behind me and to the sides and just kind of take in the moment. Which I do because I want to be able to take in the moments here. But those moments add up, and that can make things last longer in the hike. But if you just keep plowing forward, you'll make good ground. Got one of them top layers. Looks like something got that tree. Ah. Some black-capped chickadees in the house. Make it back by 1300, but that's okay. Ooh. Almost back to site 1 here. See if we could get a cell signal. It's getting a lot windier over in this vicinity too. Definitely getting some hot spots. The bottom part of my feet. It's really the uneven nature of the snow that plays a big role. And the quicker I try to move, the more it exacerbates it. But I want to move a little quicker to get back. Let's see if I could check out that lighthouse before I head out. So if we can get a cell signal at the entry point of this backpack site, we're going to call it good. We're going to say you get cell signal here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, real good. Alright, so just to recap, after seeing all 4 of these remote backpack sites, me personally, site 1 is definitely my favorite. I just like the look of it, I like the feel of it. It's definitely my favorite. So I might try to do a warm season camp here next year. You know, probably wouldn't hurt them to put in like 3 more backpack sites around here. There's all this part of the park here.
this is where Stinkleberry Farmer would cue one of his most iconic lines. These cement pillars and everything. Wow. Alright, so we're back in the Corundum campground area. I'm gonna get a picture of the split rock real quick. There's one right here. Oh, a little bird's nest. Oh.
check out the vault toilet real quick. Alright, not too bad. Works pretty good. Well, another fun fact about this park is we are in Lake County. Thinking a mouse got in here or something. I see that sometimes in vault toilets. My guess it's a mouse that does that. Or mice. Alright. Yeah, it's one of my favorite vault toilets. Take care, buddy. It's a good thing about these 3 sites right here is they're right next to this vault toilet, and it's a really good vault toilet too. 16, 17, and 15. I might try to do 15 one day. I don't know, I might feel guilty camping here and not being along Lake Superior. You can see this is a heavily trafficked trail. This looks like a really good one day. 13. It's pretty close to that vault toilet as well, and you don't have to push the cart up that hill. Here's a big one of those things I said I didn't know what they were called. We saw earlier a bunch of them on that one tree in front of that backpack site. Alright, so we're almost out of here. We're going to wind it down. I'm going to show the drive out of here as well. And if I can remember, I'll drive all the way to where that point, that Wayside is I was telling you about several times. And we'll wrap it up there. I do plan on checking out the Lighthouse before I actually leave. So I'll just splice in I'll splice at the part where I'm turning off to go there. And I'll splice it when I'm exiting later. Like an ocean. Wow. Thinking waves are getting crazier.
close to the trail here. This is one of the highest traffic parts here. This section here. It's pretty close to this vault toilet as well. This is a heavily used vault toilet though, so it's gonna smell really bad. Ooh. All right, so we're gonna cut here in a second. $115, not too bad. I'll take a couple breaks. So, only about 5 minutes then, considering the breaks. The rest, I stayed there last night. It's a really good site. This is nice and lit up, so it's not really creepy around here at night. It's a very cool site. Site 4, I'd recommend it. Propane tank. Ooh. Yeah, so I got some hot spots under my feet, but not too bad. Should recover pretty quick. All right, we're gonna head out. We're going to take a quick look at that Wayside. To our left is going to be the state park, obviously. We're heading south. To the left of us, we are passing the Corundum Campground area. now closing in on the vicinity where backpack site 1 would be. So right about here at this bridge, it is directly to our left, backpack site 1. The backpack site 2 is going to be directly to our left, a little further out though. We're now approaching an intersection here. Backpack site 3 is going to be up on our left up here. And I'm just tracking along with the Avenza Maps app while we're driving. So right at this bridge, this is where backpack site 3 would be to our left. And backpack site 4 directly to our left. And closing in on the Wayside area, it's right here. Just on Split Rock River here. Right at, there's a nice little careen or rock pile. Right here. So this might be an area where you may want to park and you can bring in your gear to a backpack site 4 or backpack site 3, practicality wise. But there's no overnight parking here. Just off of Split Rock River. So that's it. Well, I hope this all helped. The planning and preparing. Thanks for taking a look. Take care.